Holy shit. Oh, that's just so scary, man. Hello there, great person, and welcome to Three Body Problem Blind Reactions by me. So, if you're new to the channel, my background is in physics, so we will hopefully have some fun with this one. It has been recommended by the Warhammer community, mostly, I think, and also by some of the people who were with me when I did science reaction videos. So, you will get the perspective of a physicist in this series a bit. And I mainly do physics education currently, but I am from quantum physics, and I also do a bit of astrophysics currently. So I just hope that we got some physics in this show. I don't really know what it's about. Beware a bit, I will probably pause more than is usual in reactions because I really want to analyze stuff and really try to understand motivations of characters, underlying themes and stuff. So if you're up for that, be my guest, join me on this journey. And let's just get into the reaction now. What I want to say, of course, is a three-body problem. What do I know already? Nothing. Like, I know it's sci-fi. I know it's written by the same guy who wrote Ball Lightning, which is something I read the first 100 pages of, and then I don't know why I stopped. It was a very good book, actually. I really liked it. I stopped. I probably too much work. But so I really like the author. I hope this book series is good as well. It is also done by the Game of Thrones creators, I've heard, and I really am looking forward to that because despite their shortcomings in the later Game of Thrones season, which was absolute rubbish, but I have really high hopes here because when they had books to adapt, they did a very good job. I felt like that was very well done. So I can't wait what they do with this one. And yeah, a three-body problem, or the three-body problem in physics, is perhaps a short introduction to that. I don't know if this will be relevant to the series, but the three-body problem is basically if you have 3 points of mass. For example, I think historically it was Earth, Sun, and Moon, that they tried to like calculate the movements of all of the three using the gravitational law, and it just turned out that you can't. Like, you can't put this problem, like, you can't solve it with one formula like you would in school. You have like Ohm's law, R times R, U equals R times E, I. You know, you have that, like, that's a law. You can just put it down and you can like predict voltage, currents, all the stuff. But here in this, if you have 3 body masses flying around in space, you cannot predict with a formula how their trajectories will be. And you have to actually use calculus, so you have to estimate it, and there's some uncertainty there, and it is something we can't do with science, which is also interesting. So I don't know why it's called three-body problem. Perhaps it has something to do with this. If it becomes relevant, of course, I will talk more about it. But let's just go into the reaction. I've rambled on enough, and let's have some fun with the three-body problem. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this reaction. On Patreon, you will probably have the whole season already up when you see this on the YouTube channel. So if you want to support me a bit, join me there. Also, I do normally Attack on Titan reactions and analysis, and also Frieren. If you are interested in anime, I don't know, join me in those journeys as well. But we will just start now and have some fun. Here we go. Three Body Problem, Episode 1. Let's have some fun.
Doch ich frag mich, wer wir sind.
Ooh, Beijing. Okay. That looks like communist times. Ooh. Wow, that is so scary. I'm already gonna pause here. I did a 2-hour video on authoritarian regimes in one Attack on Titan reaction, so I'm not gonna talk too much about that here. But man, like, the times they had here, like the crowds being completely batshit insane sometimes. Like, I mean, it happens nowadays as well, don't get me wrong, but Beijing has had some very, very scary, and China as well, it's had some very, very scary crowd movements, like where crowds are. Yeah. Like, that is scary. Scarier than most horror movies, actually. Oh, man. Yeah. Imagine that. It's like one monster looking down at you, this crowd. Oh, God. Oh, interesting. Yes. Wow. That is actually pretty harsh stuff, man. Being backstabbed by your own students. I don't know why they are shouting at him here, but man, that's really, really scary. I wonder what he did. He probably found something sci-fi out. I don't know, but oh. Yes, probably. It indeed is. Oh. Wow. Holy shit, man. That's awesome. What I mean by that's awesome is that's like exactly, I think, how they thought. Man, relativity, yeah. I mean, Einstein did indeed put it forth. And his wife actually helped him with mathematics. Not many people know that. They had lots of arguments, I think. But yeah, so it's pretty dangerous to put away with science just because of some ideology. And I'm not going to go into specifics here, of course, because it's a very recent topic, but and I don't want unnecessary controversy. But, you know, it's like science does have its little leeway. So if you have a hypothesis, you have to test it, of course. You have to see if it works. And sometimes it works very well. And then you can put it forth, like, and if many people agree with it, actually, it is agreement. But agreement based on data, like if everyone agrees that the data is to be interpreted in a certain way with certain formula, then it's one day becomes a theory because it's just so proven with evidence and everyone's like, yeah, like undeniably proven this hypothesis is so good. We created theory out of it. So a theory is not, as most people in colloquial language would call it, something that is completely unproven, but in the sciences, the natural sciences especially, a theory is the best working thing we ever had for this. Mostly. Like it's a bit more complicated, but you can think of it as that. So a theory like Einstein's relativity theory here, what they talk about, is so well proven that you cannot really find evidence that does not support it. And you can. For example, quantum physics is not supported. Like, no, it's not. It is not able to describe quantum physics. Relativity, you know. So there are boundaries to every theory still. Like there is no perfect theory. That is very important. Like everything in physics you do is you model the world, and your models are never perfect. And if you're a scientist that's worth a damn, you always put forth the limits of your theory, hypothesis. You have to do that. For me, if someone says my science is perfect and it explains it, and there's nothing like that, it's over, nothing to see here anymore, don't trust those people. They are having other thoughts in their back, or they have not understood their own methodology of science. Because like, for example, if I publish a paper, every time I put a limitation section, this is like, here's the limit, here's the limit, here's the limit, here's the limit. If you don't do this, like, it's bogus. Like, it's very stupid. So anyway, so this ideology here is like, no, your science is the devil's work. because you did it for the wrong people. And I get that. I get that. But the thing is also, I don't know if it was in communist China like this is depicted, but I know in Russia. So I heard I told you I pause and talk about stuff. So I hope you're up for that. So there's a colleague of mine who worked on a particle accelerator in 1960s. I think it was a particle accelerator, and that was the Cold War, of course. So Russia and like America and like the American part of Germany, they were at odds. But their scientists still, like, they communicated. Like, it wasn't like radio silence, because scientists, as far as I know them, and there are exceptions, they want to learn and they want to work together. Like, not always, of course, but like that's basically the thing. So my colleague told me he went to Russia in the Cold War, 2 other scientists, and they went into this conference room to talk about the particle accelerator, I think. And their colleagues went in and they talked about stuff all of them already knew. Like, they were like, I don't like really, really stupid stuff. And the meeting was really counterproductive by that. But here's the clue. You know why it was like that? So their room was, of course, bugged as shit by the UdSSR government. So the room was completely bugged. Like, the scientists couldn't really give them new stuff, because that would be treason, of course, like this would be. So what did they do? They were like, you know what? We're going to take a coffee break. And if you want to wipe your fingers, there are some handkerchiefs in the drawer over there. We're going to go get a coffee. We still have something to do. Be our guests. So they went away, and the German team was left in the room, and they went to the bin, to the cupboard, and there was the model of the particle accelerator with like this measuring device, so they could measure everything and stuff. So they did exchange information, you know. Okay, this was a long tangent. So let's see who the real physicist is here. God. Oh. Also, why does the mother do it? To protect her daughter here? Yeah, she's fucking afraid, man. Holy shit. Yeah, who does she want to protect? Ooh, the side of the people, man. Yeah. Holy shit, man. Wow. Wow, this is the writing already is so genius. It's so good. That is exactly the thing. It's the best. That's what I just said. Like, that's your hypothesis. The best explanation. That's what science looks for. Not the right one, like, because there's not a complete right one, but the best one. And yes, the Big Bang Theory is currently the best explanation, though there are other theories for before currently being brought up. And But imagine that you have to deny the truth to appease the masses. And so scary. So what is your theory? Okay. What does that mean? Is that bad? Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Why would... No, that doesn't... Yeah, that's true. You can't derive an it from an odd. So do they want God or not? Probably not. Wow. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Oh, that's just so scary, man. Wow, this is... Holy shit, man. What the fuck? This is so realistic, though. This is so realistic. Holy shit, man. That's what happens. That's what communism is as well. It's so peaceful, isn't it? So peaceful, the communist stuff. Holy shit, this is brilliance. Oh, she killed him, yeah. Just kill a fucking man. Interesting that the daughter is not completely in the indoctrinated. Yeah, I mean, why would they be silent? They shouldn't care. I'm not sure that, yeah, perhaps you would. Yeah, I mean, she killed a person she probably never killed before. Yeah. Why is the crowd now silent? I don't understand why the crowd is silent. They shouldn't care. That's the horror. They shouldn't care. But, I mean, okay. Apparently the crowd was like, okay, they killed him. Oops, awkward. But I really like the reaction from the one killing him. Because if you kill someone, that changes you. And she probably hasn't killed someone before. She wouldn't have looked like that. Awesome actress, like the military police woman. That was good acting, as like really good acting. Because she was like, what did I just do? Like rushed in the moment. I don't think she killed before. Because she was taken aback. If you've killed before, I think several times, like you would expect an officer to do, and they didn't kill as much as you think. Most of them, some killed a lot. That's the thing. Like, it's the Pareto distribution. Most people were killed by very few people. But anyway, or they just starved to death. I mean, that was the main cause of death. But so she probably didn't kill before. Can't tell me she did. Like the way the actress did it. Really, really well done. Yeah. So you kill your scientists, have fun progressing. I mean, the way they did the stuff with the birds. Don't know if you've heard the story. Oh, the pipe. Yeah. Like, yeah. What would she say to her mother as well? Holy shit. Yeah, well, that was awesome. That was horrifying, but awesome already. Ooh, that's a nice intro. So we go up from atom level to through the brain, yeah. Very sciencey. And there is love. So how far will we go out? Planet, solar system. Too close? Planets are too close, I'm sorry. Statistic choice, I know. Oh. Holy shit, that looks awesome. Wow, that looks so awesome. Ooh. Binary system, I think. That looks beautiful. Oh no, more than... Oh, it was 3 bodies. I see. Oh, so we're in the present time now. That's cool. Okay. Interesting. So we already saw Society fall because they disregarded science. Let's see what the next science stuff will be. Oh, I know that actor, I think. I think he's pretty good. Don't know where I know him from, though. Oh, someone went mad and bloodied the world.
Strange suicide note.
Yeah. That's so weird.
It's a favourite for the next Nobel Prize in Physics.
Interesting, why? I do not think that you bet on that. Like, I've never heard on that. Because, I don't know, Nobel Prizes... I think there was a Nobel Prize physicist on my institute. Like, he won something with surface physics. Cosmology is nothing you currently get really Nobel Prizes for. I mean, there was that one Nobel Prize, but... Like, you mostly... Like on average, you get currently Nobel Prizes, I feel, in metaphysics. But... I still see it. Ooh, I love it. That's so creepy.
Previous suicide attempts, anything like that?
Nothing. Just like the others.
Oh, Lovecraftian. They flew too close to the sun and learned something they didn't want. Oh, I love that. Lovecraft is so good. Why did he put up his eyes? I mean, I know it's scary and stuff, but I've seen people without eyes so much in my life in movies. It's not that... Oh god. Yeah, I mean, we are talking about science here. So he is like I still see, and he gouged out his eyes. So he probably, there is a theme of knowing too much here, and it was in the first moments as well, like the communists killing the physicist accidentally. That was also, he knew too much for their taste, and this guy knew too much for his own taste. I love the theme of knowing too much and turning mad. That is such an awesome theme. I did write a story about that, by the way. If you're interested, I will just link it in the comments, I think. It's like, you can listen to it for free. But yeah, I like that theme of knowing too much, because as a scientist, you know, it's always this, you should always be aware that you can learn too much. Because you basically science is discovering instruments, and you're not the one using the instruments necessarily. Or and it might even be, I don't know, if he found out, I don't know, what God is or something, like, I don't know, because they talked about God in the beginning, he might have figured out what God is, which I don't hope. I don't like that much, that trope. It's pretty, it's never done very well. If you know where it was done well, please tell me, I would like to know. Because I in principle love that theme, but it's done a lot of times very stupidly. But like, that's also something, like, there's like potential that will kill you, basically. Oh, we are at a particle accelerator at Oxford. I didn't know if they have one. Some friends of mine work at CERN. They have one. Oh yeah, this one's very small. It's probably a 10th or 20th% of what the CERN particle accelerator is. Very small one. Like, what are they even doing? Proton collisions? What would you do with that small particle accelerator? I know they have those small ones, but it's very, very small. Like, because you need big ones to have high energies to like crash people got particles into each other with a lot of speed. So you get, like, they try to simulate the Big Bang, so to speak, at CERN. Like, that's not their first thing, but it's like a byproduct of what they do. So the energies they create are very, very high energy densities that are close to what was at the Big Bang. So you need a long acceleration ring and many magnets to focus the beam. And here it is a very small one. Like, normally the particle accelerators, like, if you, like, I've stood next to one, like, it's like 20, 30 meters in diameter. And this one was like, what was that? Oh, I like the traces here. Like, you can, from the traces, detect what particles it was.
Wait till the lights go out, boss. I keep thinking if I just stare at the screen.
Oh, it's closed down. Okay, that explains why it's closed down. It's too small, I guess. It's old. I mean, yeah.
But the power's on till midnight, so.
What are you looking for in the particle accelerator that's so small?
Your theory is, if it doesn't agree with experiment, it's wrong.
Yes. That is so true as well. I'm gonna be here for 3 hours today, but it's okay. I hope you're up for that here. Okay, so that's the thing. Like, you collect data, and by the way, that is something so. I think, this is personal opinion, I think it's one of the dumbest things people tell people. You should formulate a hypothesis and then test it. No. You can do that, don't get me wrong, like, that's fine. Like, if you do that, it is a good way to get your foot in the door, so to speak. That's like a good way to do that. But you should never, because every time you put in a hypothesis, you put in your opinions and your preconceived notions. And very often you will have harder times analyzing data that doesn't fit with it. And you will try to bend the data to your hypothesis. And that is like very dangerous stuff, and very, like, you can go astray so far. For example, in my PhD thesis, I did studies on cognitive development of how people understand quantum physics. So that was my PhD thesis. And I did have data that didn't fit with the literature. Not at all. Completely not. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck am I going to do now? And I found the solution because there was actually something different than in literature, you know? And it has proven again and again after I did that project, I did more projects. So what I did was, like, from the evidence showed that it was supported what I then did. But like the first, like, this moment of having data that doesn't fit Like, you are at a crossroads. You can either be like, okay, throw away my hypothesis, start anew, just take the data and model based on the data, which you should do if you have got enough data. That's the point. Or you are like, yeah, data, I probably did a measurement wrong, probably phrased that question wrong, probably put that apparatus in the wrong thing. Like, and sometimes that is the case, of course. So
I think that was Feynman, but yeah.
According to the experiments, all of our theories are wrong.
yeah, what are you talking about? Why?
Science is broken.
No, it's not wrong. It's just not good enough. I hate when people say science is wrong. No, your hypothesis is not good enough. Get a new one. That's the point. Like him saying that all of physics from 60 years before is broken is wrong. Physicists will probably say that, like people I talk to would say that, but I would disagree. It's not good enough anymore. That's what I would say. It's A, more hopeful, and B, more true, I think. Like, because it does explain certain domains. Like, for example, take relativity. It does explain the move, like how you observe the movements of like Mercury or stuff better. Or quantum physics, it describes particles better. But it's not good enough for other things like dark matter or whatever there is out there. You know, that's the point. It's not good enough. It's not wrong. It's not good enough. Be better. So he's a particle physicist and a cosmologist. I think those two go hand in hand a lot. Friend of mine is both as well at CERN.
A person who has not made his great contribution to science before the age of 30 will never do so.
Ooh, doubtable. Doubtable, mate.
If anyone can figure this out, it's you.
I have to think about it. I don't think that's true. What people do not realize is, and this is a big myth about physics, I feel, and it came from Einstein, by the way, who did say that? It came from Einstein. So Einstein there is the myth that Einstein worked alone and just created this whole theory of relativity on his own in his basement, so to speak. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's the idea. That's not that. Even that is not true. Like, he had letters, he had correspondences with other people, and as I said, his wife helped him with the mathematics, like not with the physics ideas, because she was not a physicist, but she helped iron out his maths a bit and stuff. So there was this collaborative thing, even with Einstein. And nowadays, for example, I'm working in a project where they built in Germany one of the quantum computers. I work there currently with a big network of colleagues. So I'm not there for the quantum computer development per se. Like, I'm evaluating how to get new people into quantum physics. That's like my job in that project, because as I said, I'm doing education as well. But like, there are many, many colleagues who do research. Like, some do the chips, some do the ion traps that you need for the quantum computers, some do the algorithms. And once a month, everyone meets up and they talk. Like, they network, they fit into each other like little cogs. So you make the whole project work. Particle accelerators, the same thing. So it was like particle accelerator was this community thing. Before that, the Manhattan Project. After that, now quantum computers. There are many little hubs where people work together to create these big technologies. So the point he's making here is probably related to, if I'm not at 32 not accomplished, or my hypothesis is not proven, like, it will be very, very hard for other people to believe me, or to be like, you're not a crackpot, because that happens. Like, if I'm on a conference, there will be one crackpot at the conference who will tell me everything we know is wrong. He knows better. He's figured it out in his basement because he thinks Einstein did, which he didn't, as I said, but yeah. And the thing is, physics is also not only the genius in your head, it's also networking. You have to be good at networking. You can be the most cleverest physicist, and you might contribute some particles to the overall change in theories and hypotheses. But the problem is, if you're not networked, people will not look at your work with care, and will not be like, okay, this might be something. Like, don't get me wrong, there are physicists that are like reading papers, all papers they can find on a topic and evaluate them on their own, but you don't have the time for that because you work normally. So the social network you have to build is very important, and you probably don't do that after you are 32. perhaps that's what he's referring to. Because, yeah, it's not like there's also such a myth, and I ran into that as well. If you have a new description or hypothesis of something, and you publish it, you think like, yeah, I'm gonna change the world. Everyone will be like, oh, you brought the greatest thing ever to us. How were we so dumb? You know, this dream of the one person that does everything right and now changes the landscape. It's not gonna happen, even if it's a brilliant paper, even if there is the truth, the better explanation in it, because people will be like, okay, crackpot, we don't know him, we should not talk to him, we don't know where this is from. So you have to make sure that these new things, they grow into the community, like they're not put on and then explode. Like, as I said, even Einstein did do correspondences with other professors. Otherwise he would have been a crackpot, even though he was right, probably. So, like, that's what I know. Like, I'm not an expert on all of this, but that's just what I've heard from colleagues and stuff. So always take it with a bit of a grain of salt, but I think I'm pretty in line here. If I'm not, and someone knows better, correct me, of course, as always, in the comments.
Saul,
Yeah.
do you believe in God?
Oh, we're going with God in this episode. Great. God is not something that has to do with physics. I don't understand why people always link those two.
I accept that this defies all known laws of physics, but I don't think that's an argument for God.
Yes, thank you, mate. That's so true. Like, why would you jump to that conclusion? What's left? What is left? It's physics. Find a better hypothesis. That's all you have to do now. Like, if you find something that... what? It's like with dark matter. Like, there's stuff in the universe we can't explain. That's there. It's not like there's God because of that. We will probably talk more about God and physics in the future, but what I can already say is I do not understand why people would correlate God and physics in any way. Like, why would she ask him that? Like, I get it. Like, the theme of we had, like, the Big Bang. Yes, that is closely linked because it's the start of the universe. It's the start of the universe, so because in belief, God created the universe, and now we have physics that will try to explain that as well. But if you look at the Bible, it's already clear that it's not the real creation of the universe that's described in the Bible. It's a metaphor. And personal opinion, it's a metaphor for how consciousness develops. You know, it's like if you go through the Genesis, you read it with, this is how people started experiencing the world. It makes sense, but it's not like a literal time frame. It's a metaphor. It's a functional metaphor of human cognitive development. So I don't know why God is here. Like, why? I mean, I get it. It's like the beginning, but it's a very shallow view, I think. Oh, that's a big chamber. What's that? What is your big magic chamber, ma'am? That looks awesome, though. It's probably a detector. It's probably detecting stuff. Oh, she's gonna kill herself. Great. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I mean, the shots. Oh, God, not that. That wasn't awesome. Don't get me wrong. Oh, God, that sounded so wrong. Wow, yeah, she killed herself as well. Holy shit. So what this is, I know this cool scene, this is probably a neutron detector or something. You detect a neutrino. You detect neutrinos with these types of detectors. Okay, you did. That's nice.
Second law of thermodynamics. Eventually, everything turns to shit.
No, eventual. Why did I start this? I didn't know I would be like there was so much in the show. So law of thermodynamics is of course entropy. I did a paper on quantum entropy, by the way. It's very similar to classical one, but a bit different. It's to do with probabilities on the quantum level, but you probably don't want to know that. So yeah, it's basically, I always imagine the second law of thermodynamics. If I have to explain it, I'm like, everything will be mixed the most it can be mixed. Like if you've two particle boxes of big and small particles, maximum entropy is with like everything is mixed and on average everything's the same. So it's like not turning to shit. Everything is starting to be the same. So, I mean, physicists often go to bars, by the way, I heard. Especially in Germany.
Let me guess, you probably are.
I design self-assembling synthetic polymer nanofibers.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Conduction?
variety of potential medical energy and materials
Might be
applications.
conduction, or they are also very robust.
And
I'm a senior research results of particle accelerator experiments around the world.
Thank you. Thank you. You're my hero. Like, if she was real, she would be my hero. You don't know how much I love reviews. It saves so much work. Like, I always tell my students, if you have a research question you want to research, and first look for a meta-analysis or review, so you don't have to do all the, like, you can just go there and see what they found and, like, write it together, and you've got your theory part of the paper or thesis. You're done. So thank you. You're already my favorite character.
yeah, all right, that's me. Yeah, enjoy it. Bye.
I don't know why this scene exists though. Like,
Okay.
I've never ever met someone who was like this. Like, oh, I'm the best job. Like, if you're at a bar and you're a physicist, you party, you drink a lot mostly. Like, I don't. Never would. But like I don't know. Like if if you get hit on, you wouldn't be this awkward. I think. Perhaps you would be. I mean, that's the thing.
About a month ago, all the major accelerators started generating results that make
Ooh, interesting. Isn't that perfect? Oh, I love that song. Moments sitting next to me. I love that song so much. The Piano Man. Love the Piano Man. Ooh, what's that? So what I get from that is something with fundamental laws breaks down, because that's obviously quantum electrodynamics or whatever is used in these like crystal displays. So you might have problems there.
You have a smoke with me?
shit'll kill you.
Yeah, so will this.
That was nicely done though. I like Rufus. I hope Rufus is back. So new results. So either laws of physics are changing, which is possible.
Sol sent that one just last week from
Oh
Oxford.
god. Okay, let me talk about that. So we always, like, if you're in school and you learn the law of physics, you always think, hey, that's how it's always going to be and always was. It's not. Like, why would that be? You just assume that. You know, like you assume that, for example, Ohm's law will always work the way it works. Like, it will always be U equals R times I. Always. Why? So basically it boils down to every law, every relation in physics you can break down to fundamental constants and relations between them, basically, like roughly. So these fundamental constants are, we currently think, always the same throughout time, always. Doesn't have to be the case. Why? We just assume that. We measure them, like we measure if they change. It's actually, there are research projects measuring that. If the laws of physics change by time, which, like, we don't know that. We just assume it will be static, and by assuming that, we get pretty well explained results. But we might, like, it's just an assumption. It's not proven. It's not proven that the laws of physics are always the same. It's just an assumption that, again, works very well currently. It's a very well working hypothesis or theory or assumption, but it could not be the case. So laws of physics could change. We don't know. It's just something we've not observed before. So the longer we don't observe it, the less likely we think it is, but still it's possible.
Oh, then maybe it's a hack.
In every accelerator on the planet.
No.
I went
That's
through the CERN code line by line. Nothing.
okay, so CERN does the same results. By the way, yeah, like you have to look for systematic errors. Perhaps there is an error in the code that would explain it. So I like that she did that here. Because you have to, like, if you do an experiment, there are errors that are like nothing you can like factor in. And there are also errors that are like systematic, which means that Your experiment itself will bring in an error, and if you don't account for that, your results will be weird. So,
It's a lot, Augie. It's a lot of fucking lines.
wow, you must have spent a month on that.
And every collider from here to Beijing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does Saul say?
Calorimeters. I think that's what you saw where she jumped in on the walls. I think those were calorimeters. Yeah.
These experiments teach us how the universe works.
At the moment.
That's fucking Alice in Wonderland.
Why? Why? Why is that so bad? Isn't it great? The universe can change. The laws of physics can change. I mean, for physicists, like, so you would have to derive laws for the change, and you have to do something like metaphysics now. Isn't that great? New jobs for physicists.
Now he calls. I texted him to come 3 times and he wouldn't even text me back.
Oh yeah, she probably didn't come back because his colleague jumped into the calorimeter chamber. Ooh, that's weird. So space-time might be breaking down. Yeah, that's weird. So only she sees it? Why? Why does only she see it? So it's something with the brain? Oh, it's countdown. She sees a countdown. Very, very nice. 4 years, 9 days, 17 hours, 38. No. 4 days, 9 hours, 70 minutes, 38 seconds. What's gonna happen then? So it's something to do with the brain. I mean, the brain is an electric circuit running on quantum physics. So, like, you could probably use it as a technology like for like message transmission and stuff. You could use that, I guess. Particle physics, Dr. Berra, Oxford Unit. Yeah, it's probably people who are too close to the particle accelerator, so their minds are probably linked to that some way or whatever. That's how I would write it, I think. Oh, it's him. I know him from somewhere. Isn't that the guy from Game of Thrones?
Excited to see
Yep,
Jim?
it is. I recognize his voice. Why is he not faced by... Oh, okay, that's why... You know, I think that's a bit of a cliche, actually. If you drink, like if you get drunk, you mostly... And it's mostly aggression or sadness. Sometimes happiness, like you make the emotions you feel stronger. And if you're sad and drink, like that can fuck you up really badly. You have to be happy and drink. That's why at parties, like in parties, you're mostly happy. You drink and you get more happy through drinking. But if you then go into a small argument or something, you really get mad a bit, and the madness like grows up and you explode. I think actually that alcohol is the only drug that can make you really aggressive, like purposefully aggressive. So, I don't know. He should be a mess if he's sad. I don't know.
Have you heard that Jin's got a new boyfriend?
Why would you talk about that now? Your fucking colleague died, you dipwit. A colleague of mine has died. That was not... I don't know. It's like... it's not evidence for many situations, but like no one would have been like that. Like everyone was depressed as fuck and not talking for days. You know, it's like... Especially like ending yourself, that's probably even worse. So he's a pilot or a captain of a ship.
So this is Prithviraj?
Just Raj, mate.
Nice to meet you.
See, he's like I would expect someone to be.
Atoms were not at vortices in the ether.
He's not wrong. But it's not atoms. Little particles can be described as topological knots. You probably didn't want to know that.
Thank you.
Is Augie here yet?
You know, I know that the physics stuff they're saying is just written in for this show and no one talks like this as physicists, but I like it. It gives me stuff to discuss. Probably too much stuff to discuss, but yeah.
When this train will terminate, please make sure you have...
I never understood why they say the train will terminate. Doesn't that mean it will explode? Just as a not native speaker. Oh, 1 day left. That's not good, honey. I mean, yes, a countdown can be pretty stressful, but doesn't need to be something bad. how is she still in one piece after falling into that? I mean, it was just water, okay, but wouldn't you be bloated? Some like they were alone at night and she jumped into a bottle of distilled water. What? Like I'm not a medicine man, so I don't know how quickly you get bloated as a water corpse, but
Jin's looking good.
holy fuck, man! What an asshole!
Oh, he's looking good as well.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Like, who would do that at a funeral? Like, either he just didn't care, I guess. I guess he just didn't care about them. Because he does show no signs of sadness or grief here. And you can't just be like, yeah, he drinks alcohol. No. Come on, man. No, that's not how this works. Like, the other dude to the right, he's like grief-stricken. Like, I believe that he's sad, but the guy's like, okay, it's just an excuse for drinking, being a dick. No. See? The right actor does it like... He probably was directed to not be sad. I wonder why. Why won't you tell your colleagues that you're seeing a countdown? Wouldn't that be relevant? I know it's a trope that you don't tell your colleagues. Like, yes, they might be like, yeah, you're a bit mad, aren't you? But I mean, there is a pattern. We saw the people that ended themselves. They were all particle physicists. You would know that. Like, in your community, if people started ending each other, as I said, there are networks. You know that. You know that there are like if 5 of the people from my network suddenly committed the act of self-deletion, I would know that. Why? Like, and I would be then like, oh, you know what? I see a weird countdown, and I'm like of the same group. Shouldn't I like at least warn my peers? Like, what the frick? Oh, at least she went. Okay. She went to the urologist.
I'll still have
Okay, good. I take it back. She did talk to them. That's good.
like all the fucking time.
Shouldn't you like put her in a room? Perhaps restrain her and see what happens when the countdown runs out. Perhaps it's not the same countdown for everyone. Who's that? Her doctor father or whatever you say? Oh, I thought it was 7 seconds, but it's 20 minutes, 7 seconds. And an hour. Mate, you could have just gone in. What are you doing? Shouldn't you try to protect them? Yeah, he seems to be an important person. Probably a scientist that went into the industry, which happens a lot. Because it pays better. It does. Most people working at university do so because they think it's important, not because of the money.
Jumping into a Cherenkov tank, but sure.
Was she acting
Ha, it was a Cherenkov tank. I knew it.
every major accelerator on the planet?
Well, she must have been depressed about that.
Would that be like that? I'm actually not sure. It's possible that it would go like this, but if every accelerator, and there are billions of dollars, everything gives strange results. That's what they're looking for. Like, they always, at least from what I've known, so take this with a grain of salt. It's just the colleagues I know that work at particle accelerators. At least I think when we talked about that, it was some time. So take it with a grain of salt, as I said. But officially, they are like, yeah, we're gonna prove in quantum electrodynamics that it still works, and at CERN they do that, and they show that it's so good, like it's to the dot. It predicts everything. So it's a very good theory. It works very well. So but they hope that it doesn't. They do hope that it doesn't make sense anymore. Everyone does. So this should be Christmas for everyone. They should be celebrating like, what the fuck? We got it. We got weird results. Yes, that's what they want. Why would they be like this? Why would they be shut down?
He's a bit of a killjoy, if we're being honest.
Don't be a dick, Jake.
Yes, don't be a dick, Jake. So he's written as a dick. I'm glad I caught that.
Noble academics, you'll be coming to me and Augie for loans in a few years.
See? He's one of the people that are like, yeah. So what happens a lot in science is that normally, at least in physics and in physics education, where I'm currently as well, it's like you do your majors, then you do your PhD, and after that, I think 98% of the people go into industry and do something completely different, mostly statistics, mathematics, economy or something, because there are no positions at the university, like no permanent ones. They're, at least in Germany, they're done away with. So that also is a problem because all our researchers run away into industry, but no one seems to care. Rent over. But this dude's like, yeah, I'm going to make money. Frick you. And that's the thing. He's like, yeah, you will get loans from me because that's how it works. But I guess I like his character though. His character is written very well currently. Like, yes, he's a bit of a dick. He's an egoist as far as I can tell from the 2 scenes he was in. He does care a bit because he does drink, but perhaps he also uses that as an excuse, or perhaps he always drinks. We don't know that yet. And he's very nonchalant about that. Like, he's not very empathetic. And that is a very good trait to have in industry, like not being empathetic. Like, you can negotiate a lot better then. Like, weirdly, like you would think not, but yes, you can.
That's probably the most boring name I've ever heard.
Yeah, he's true. Most. Yeah, again, like if you name something, you always need to, like, that's an unspoken rule. You always need to use stupid acronyms like DC or ALICE. Like, every time physicists name something, they always do stupid acronyms, even like companies and stuff. So it's very boring. I agree with Jack.
Kid in every class who actually listens to what I'm saying. And
that as well. Physicists go into school and they fail a lot. Because because this is my actual area of real expertise currently. Like, I'm doing this for a living, and I train physics teachers in Germany a lot, and they all have to do classes on psychology and pedagogy. That's like necessary, and as I said, that's also my research area. Like this, like educational, like physics and psychology, like the intersection is my research area. Because you need to understand how people learn and work and how to talk to them. And many people from research don't know that. Like, there are some who are very, very brilliant and talented. So I've heard professors, like I've talked to professors and seen them talk to children as well. And they are brilliant. Like, they know how to talk to them. They know how to do examples that are very well done and stuff, because that's important. They know how to create great metaphors for learning, which is also very important. But there are people who just take up the blackboard and they just write stuff down, or they just pull in like this big machine and they're like, okay, we put it on, see the results are there, we want it. Have you learned something? So many like people that are just doing physics and then go like into the education sector did not have the training on psychology and education, and that shows so badly. Like, if you like, they might be very awkward, they might not understand how hard some of the stuff is they are like doing. They're doing stuff that's too difficult. They are doing stuff that is not interesting, which is the thing. Like, that's a big discussion in education. Like, how interesting does something have to be? And the mainstream would probably tell you it has to be so interesting so everyone loves it. But a bit is also, if something's not interesting and you have to content with it, that's also important to do in life, because at your workplace it won't be hanky-dory roses. There will be times when you have to deal with stuff you fucking hate. Like, I hope it's not often for you, but those times exist. Like, everyone in the job has them. And if you learn at school early that there is stuff you have to deal with and sit down and force yourself through it, can also be very, very good. But of course they want more people in STEM. So so it's so important to get everyone interested. For some it is, don't get me wrong. Like, you can do it as well. Like, I'm doing some research on that. Astronomy, by the way, or like something like this, but astronomy mainly seems to be a good way to get people interested and talk about stuff. So I hope we get more astronomy here. Because that's like, everyone thinks that's interesting. So tell me in the comments, what do you think is most interesting? Like, more interesting, particle physics, what they do here, or cosmology? And I know they're linked for all the experts, I know, but or this astronomy, stars, black holes, what is more important to you? Tell me. So yeah, and again, like,
science course.
Yeah, if you do science courses, and it is true because I have many colleagues from other education sectors as well, like history, like German, linguistics. Everyone's like, there are like 3 people in my class who pay attention, are interested in what I'm teaching. All the rest is just sitting there. And it's not the same people for every subject. That basically, that's every time you teach something, that's mostly how it goes.
We were all that one kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, see? Sometimes the love goes through.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, fighting and fuck.
What a fucking obnoxious asshole.
Love you, but I swear to God, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna put...
Yeah, please do that. Why don't you tell him off? He's being a dick. Tell him that he's being a dick. See your countdown reaching 0 now. That would be interesting. What's gonna happen then?
Need a little help.
Oh, we've got a new weird character. Hello. So are you gonna see yourself getting self-deleted?
You can see the stars.
Ooh, really? In a city? I doubt that.
It's not easy, is it?
See? That's how you get interest. Stars, astronomy, what I said. And I know it's like everyone loves to look at the stars, I think. Everyone does. So I think you should start there with teaching, like what's out there. Think about it. Formulate your own theories, stories of what is out there. Like get yourself thinking. And that's how I would start science lesson probably, by the way. But yeah, it's so important to talk about it. And also, in many cities, you can't see the stars because of light pollution. But I'm from the countryside, and I saw the Milky Way when I was young, like this big band in the sky. It looks almost like the accretion disk here, like not as prominent, of course, but it's awesome. So she's from the countryside, probably. Countryside where there's not a lot of cloud cover.
I understand what you're going through.
Oh, you do? You see a countdown as well?
Really? The Lord has a better way.
Oh, you believed in the Lord as well. Great. Oh, she thinks she's got... Oh, wow, okay, so she does know the countdown. What the fuck? How?
How much time do you have left?
Oh, so it is the death date. What the fuck, man? Okay, this is creepy. Ooh, this is so creepy. I love it.
Easy to make it stop. You put an end to your work.
So she might be a hallucination, actually.
No more nanofibers. You shut down the lab.
Yeah, she's a hallucination. Holy shit.
Who are you?
She is a hallucination, and oh, it might be that they have to stop their research. That's what this is for. So stop your research or you die.
Be suspicious.
Because that would also parallel the Chinese man in the beginning. He also was like, stop your research or die. It's the same thing, but this is more sci-fi. So it might be a company behind that or aliens. So let's go.
Go outside and look up at the sky.
Oh, really? Why? What are you gonna
The
see?
universe ever winked at you?
Oh god, I don't think you want the universe to wink at you. There might be Cthulhu, eldritch beings. Ah, they're tough. Oh god. That's awesome.
You don't want it to get to 0.
Why?
Nothing good ever happens at 0.
Ooh, that was a nice dig at the start of time, Big Bang stuff. So it basically said like, yeah, you know what, creation's pretty fucked. Because it was like that before, I might be reaching it, but awesome. This is so well written. Yeah, she's a hallucination, probably. Probably. Oh, that's a code. That's so weird. Oh, we are in China again. In 1967, that's so interesting. So it's after the dad died. What did you say to your mother, by the way? Mother probably just wanted to protect her daughter or something. Oh, we've got a working camp, I think. Brilliant. Yeah, it's basically a gulag. Is that the daughter? I think it's the daughter, yes. You know how many people work themselves to death in China and in Russia? Time. Just time. Wow, they fell a tree that old. Holy shit, man. I like the satellite dish in the background, that looked awesome. Why? Why? Who is she? Yeah. Yeah, that's like... I teased it a bit before, but like the people in charge in China in these times, and it might have been around these times, there was, for example, like they didn't really know how to do this because they're probably not the most competent people to do it. So they did issue really stupid orders. Like, for example, there were birds that ate some crops. So they killed all the birds and that made like some maggots or whatever come and like they all starved to death. It's like, yeah, never question the party. I mean, you're gonna die either way, horribly, but... Interesting. What is there? Oh, so you've got radiation. Brilliant. Is that wise to do that? You can get shot, mate. Silent Spring. I don't know that book. Ooh. Ooh, interesting. So he's against the destruction of the planet here, of course. Which is a fair point to make. Like, I really think we should care for environment more. And we should really care for it, not just pretend to care for it like many big companies and governments currently do. Like, they don't really care. Can't they? They just want money and... Yeah. So, I mean, there are some exceptions, but most people just want money from this cause, but like really care for the environment, like plants and trees. I know that sounds stupid. What do I know? Anyway, so it's interesting that he's sharing a book secretly. I think this might be, perhaps not intentional, an allusion to Archipel Gulag from Solzhenitsyn, which was, people think in part, that was the fall of the Soviet Union, which is also like an authoritarian communist government like they are in here right now. And of course, China didn't fall yet, but the thing there was as well, like they had this book and they shared around it with ideas that they were prohibited by the state. And actually, I think it starts with a forward if you buy it nowadays, and like so the Archipel Gulag by Solzhenitsyn was a book they passed around, and everyone who had they had a copy, they brought it to a friend they trusted, and they wrote it, like read it, and gave that copy to the next person, and they read it one evening and they gave it. So it was like one book, and I think there were like 10 or something going around, but everyone thought their book was the only one. And one day one woman was found with the book by the authorities, and the authorities burnt the book, of course. I mean, and the woman thought that was the only one they had in circulation. It wasn't, but she thought it was, and she killed herself because she thought their hope was gone, which is like, books can be very powerful even in these circumstances. And I don't know if this is like against communism or authoritarianism or corporatism, and like this, like what he's on about here. Like he seems to be caring for the nature here, and he's not wanting to let it go.
Nothing exists alone.
That is true. Everything is in symbiosis, or not. I always love it as well if they have the native languages. Oh, she's reading it when there are people around. That's pretty brave. Wow, so much death. For what purpose? I mean, they probably produce charcoal or something from that, or houses. Wow, that forest is so beautiful. I love forests. It's also a very well written scene where two people fall in love as well. I love that. And just nature and the beauty of the world. Nature can be also fucking dangerous, like black holes. But it can also be so beautiful. It's a beautiful and cruel world. Oh, it's a bit awkward. That's so cool. Oh, that's very well acted as well. Oh. So there is still love, even in desperate times. That's so beautiful. That is beautiful. I first thought it was the professor and his wife, but of course they're not. I think it's the daughter. Oh, she's planting seeds again. That's what I said, planting trees. It's awesome. Oh man, I love this. Man, that's so awesome. Yeah, like, if you fell down trees, I mean, obviously replant them. Oh, the book's gone, I think. Okay, so, prediction. Book is gone. He will be like, this was my book, he will be killed here. But again, that's what I said, like, you're a bit too carefree with that book. It's like the one woman with the book that ended her life. Yep, they're at the camp officers. So what happened? Did he betray her? Was he just a spy? So let's see, was he just like a spy trying to get her to do this? So because they think, because she's the daughter of that professor dude and they probably know she's too dangerous to leave alive? Or is he just like, I don't know. Betrayal is one of the worst things. Why is he there as well? What is she gonna do? What would you do? What would you do? Like, that dude she knew for like 5 weeks, and she's probably right now in this like spike love, like love is mostly like a spike, and then sometimes it plateaus there, and sometimes it fizzles out. It changes, definitely. But in the first time you like rose-tinted glasses, you would do anything. She's probably in that phase right now. What would you do? What would you do? Would you be like, yeah, man, that dude was that? Or would you take it on yourself? Because she probably will be executed if she's not careful. Like, let's not kid ourselves. By the way, the show is so fucking awesome already. Wow, okay, so she's gonna get at least punished. Then again, it was her own fault. Like, no, it wasn't the fault that she wants to read it. I'm perfectly fine with that, but she hid it under her bed. Like, I mean, dig a hole in the forest like 50 meters away and hide it there or something. Man, come on. Like, what? But, and again, I don't know. I don't know why he was in the scene though. Probably just so she could look at him and be like, yeah, I'm gonna trust you here, you will see it. Okay, so he was not a spy. Oh, great. The People's Court. You have a lawyer? I know that in the UdSSR they did not have lawyers, but yeah, this is probably going to be a mock trial. Yeah, she probably also doesn't care. Oh, she might play good cop here. She is scary. I don't like the lawyer. Ooh, God, the lawyer is really scary. Yeah. Too much good knowledge. Like, why would we have progress when we can starve people to death, right? Right? That's a lot more fun. But yeah, jokes aside, I know that's a bad joke, but yeah, she's scary, so she might want to recruit her here. Because they can just get her under the covers. The father they couldn't just take. I mean, they could have, but... Ooh, a political class. Isn't re-education fine? Yeah, you can trust me on this. I'm so evil. Yeah, never like... So let's see what this is. Is she allowed to read it? I've heard they were forced to sign stuff randomly. So, confessions. Might be a confession she has to sign here. Yes. Why are the ideas so dangerous? What are you afraid of, woman? I mean, I know that science is seen as... There is danger in science, don't get me wrong, like Manhattan Project, like I don't have to tell you about that, but there's risk-reward in science, I think. And I think in the end, what the people that use the science make of it is what will prove the worth of the people using it. And if they are, like, it's a bit like evolution. Like, if you frig it up, then like it was also like evolution, like Darwinism, like if you nuke yourself to death, like obviously Darwinism, so it wasn't a technology you could handle. I mean, that's simple. And if you don't nuke yourself and you have nuclear weapons, you can build fusion reactors and fission reactors. Don't know. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, of course, your mother has signed. So they just want to wipe out the scientists and she will sign this. And I mean, that's also so interesting that they still use these mock documents like confessions and stuff in these authoritarian governments. They always do, as far as I know. Like I know it from Germany, from the artist people times. They did that. They did use those fake signed things. Sometimes they just forged them, of course, but because they always are like, here's the document, this person did it. Like it's people seem to be very driven to believe stuff that is signed. Like she doesn't need that. She could go to them and shoot them in the head. Like, but she still does it to appease the people around them, to be like, yeah, we had evidence. That keeps people down, apparently. It's so sad and terrible. I like that she's so headstrong, though. There are people like that as well. Very few, though. Yeah, what a hero. This is what a hero is. Don't fall for the corruption. It's hard to do. She's gonna take the water and... Oh, great, yeah. Yep. That's about what I thought. Man, the actress for the woman there was awesome. Like, that was well acted. Like, the people high up in these organizations, they were really poisoned. Like, everyone had their minds poisoned, so to speak. The further down, like, I just can talk from Germany, what happened there, and I know some people from back then, you know? Like grandparents and friends' grandparents. For the Attack on Titan reactions where this was brought up again, I asked around a bit, so I will tell you a bit here as well, very shortly, because this has already gone on for like an hour. But the thing is that, like, if you're like going through, like, if you were going through a city street in artist Germany, like, you would be like, everyone would be relatively normal. You wouldn't really notice it, but like, because the people were like living normal lives, had normal priorities still. There's just this poison in the back of the mind. And the further up you got into these hierarchical structures and to the big painter guy, of course, like the higher you get, the more the poison was in them and the more it warped their minds and shaped them, you know. And this woman is high up. She's probably indoctrinated, like, because in China, I think they do indoctrinate you a lot. And yeah, by the way, it's also pretty wild that a Chinese man, I think this is written by a Chinese man, that he can write this. I doubt he's still living in China. So, yeah. Like, let's not kid ourselves. If an author writes a book like this in China, he would probably be prosecuted as well. Oh, we've got a potential nice officer. Perhaps also not a nice officer. Oh, she's probably going to be brought up to the satellite dish now for some reason. Why? Wow, look at all the forest being cut down there. So sad. See, they want her expertise now. Go fuck yourselves, mate. Of course you have. It's just so dumb. Like, not the scene is brilliant, but these people are such assholes. Like, in the end, all they want is power. Power. That's what an authoritarian regime is about. The people on the top want power. They will use some idea that they can sell to the masses that is benevolent or good or striving for, but in the end, the people on the top always are corrupt. And if they're not corrupt, they get backstabbed and replaced by corrupt people. So in the end, you have this corrupt, power-searching, power-hungry top and an authoritarian society, as far as I understand it. And like, it goes down, of course. And they, in the end, don't care. Like, if they can use science for their means, they will use it. They don't care for their ideology in the end. They just want the power.
这里是个军事基地，这可是最高机密的研究项目。
Oh, good. You're gonna give high security to someone who could manipulate you.
可能一辈子都出不来了。
我进去。
Oh, she wants to go in. Yeah, the drive for knowledge. At least she can work her work, though she must know that it will be used not for probably good, because she's seen the terrors, she's just lived through them. Like, would you do it to live? She will probably try to manipulate stuff, though, if she's not stupid. If she's probably like, yeah, you know, if I have to die here, I at least will take some of you with me, you fucking dicks. Oh, the Black Palace. I know that from a Dan Brown novel. I don't know which one, though.
Took over Daddy's oil company.
Where'd he go in that helicopter?
Okay, so he's not a professor. Weird.
Been fired from Scotland Yard, MI5 and OSCT.
Oh, interesting.
Don't fuck it up.
Really? Why would you use him then? So he has some talents, but there is some corruption he has in his heart, perhaps. Something he fucks up all the time. Like, why would he still work for, I know people are promoted upwards if they're stupid. Happens a lot, but like, not always, like, obviously not, but like in a very corrupt structure. Again, corruption. I don't know if that's a theme here, but it like happens. Is that perhaps also Beijing or whatever her name is? I mean, we are in the future here, so to speak, from the Chinese stuff. No, she's just called Vera's mom, so I guess, yeah.
Wrap my head around it. Why she would do that?
That is a good question. Why did she do it?
Or any explanation?
At least she didn't scribble the countdown with blood on the wall. I mean, at least that.
We're not believers in this house. We're scientists.
I know many scientists that believe in God. As I said, it's not as closely related as people commonly think, I think. Like, science and belief are two different domains. Like, belief is basically what science can't explain. Like, your first hypothesis also, you could classify that as belief, but I'm not going to go into that more. But basically, it's like what is right and wrong is the question of God in a way. And in science, it's what is the best explanation. Like, it's completely different train of thought. So weird that people always put that into movies, that those two are completely opposing.
She was playing a video game.
Really? A video game? What game? Minecraft. Deep Rock Galactic. What did she play? Oh, that's weird.
It's a video game?
Where did she get that? That's so weird. Don't put it on. Like, she obviously ended herself and had a weird helmet on.
Can I have it?
Of course.
No, don't use it. That's madness.
Time is a motherfucker.
Yes, time is. Won't we see it? See? It's her. I knew it was her. Why would they call her mom? Okay, so thank you, Netflix, you didn't spoil it, but yeah. So her daughter in the end ends herself because of a weird sci-fi message thing. Countdown to death.
导弹吗？
导弹谁没有？
Yes, everybody does. No one uses them. That jet light dish is not that big though, but I think for that time it is. So they're transmitting something. Why? Okay, so they basically send a high frequency signal, electromagnetic, into the atmosphere somewhere, and the birds obviously react to that because they have internal magnetic sensors, and they're probably going to crash somewhere or something. Or they're just gonna fly into the dish. They might do that. At least some. Oh no, they went too close and overloaded their brains. Brilliant. It's basically a windmill, just more effective. Is that a star? Yeah, what is the target? I mean, whatever it is, it takes some time to go there, the message. Like, the closest star is 4 light years, so it would take 4 years to go there. They obviously need this high frequency, high energy, so to speak, dish to make it compact so it doesn't like dissipate. Probably that's the explanation why it's so big. Whatever. Hey, don't you want to play this weird game that's killing everyone? Game? Obviously not a game. Oh god, come on, who would do that? I mean, I'm a scientist, I wouldn't do that, that's rubbish. I mean, I can't conclude from myself to others, of course. What are you gonna see? Ooh, that was awesome.
Level 1.
Oh, it is a game? Okay. Is she a child now? She's playing a child. No, she's playing a woman of belief, I guess. I don't know what that clothes means. Clothes mean. And an old pyramid. I love that. I love old pyramids. So how many suns are rising here? I mean, that sun's pretty big. I think the sun is coming towards you. Oh, hello, dead alien thing. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. She found a dead alien thing and a planet burning away. Look, perhaps that was a Necron.
Anything strange happening to scientists is relevant.
Yes, that is true.
They're not too keen on the notion of science being broken.
That is true. Yes, I mean, that is something I understand. Like, companies would be like, no. Like, you telling me everything will not work anymore or what? So, like, I get that.
Yep. Is that why we're here? Is this an intervention?
No.
Oh, she brought him with her. That's pretty good. Wow, that really looks beautiful.
What did that weird chick say to you again?
Oh, that's so good. You told her. That is so good. So good. So she tells people about the weird stuff. That's awesome. It's rare.
If you observe anything, science, dude.
That is the thing what I talked about earlier, by the way, confirmation bias. That's why I would always advise not to have a hypothesis first. Sometimes it's impossible to not have one, but confirmation bias is the thing you have, like, you bring with you the values you apply.
2 minutes to midnight.
Yes, what's going to happen at midnight? Oh, great, it's going to be the cliffhanger, I think. Oh, really, you have? Is that wise?
Oh, stars are so bright tonight.
So you're not in a city.
Still.
I think it's hard to see that many stars from a city. So, what fucked up shit's gonna happen now? Yeah, it is only necessary for messages. But I got that much already. I think that's... Why would I assume that a satellite dish is for weapons in the first place? It's like... Ooh, that looks so awesome. So it probably... yeah. Oh. What? Oh, that's so weird. That's so cool.
Observe the universe winking.
Oh, they're morsing. They're morsing and she has to decipher it with that stupid cereal for some reason. That's cool. Ooh, that's so awesome. Man, that's so awesome. And there's the guy. Is he working for him? Is that the reveal? Oh, I think that's... Is that Davos? No, I don't think so.
What does it say?
We are here. Oh, great. You're waking up aliens. A bird of the Fermi paradox.
Not clouds.
Yes, it is Davos, okay. Our enemy? Oh, that's cool.
5, 4.
Ooh, that's so scary. That is so scary. I love it. So scary. Oh, no. We don't want to get spoiled here. That was awesome. That was awesome. I know I talked a lot again, like I always do in reactions. That's why it's a react analysis, not a reaction. I put it in the title. I'm very careful about that. So yeah, I hope you took something from this. I love this show. I'm going to continue it, and we will see where it goes. So we've got aliens, get contact with them, and they're evil, apparently, at least for some factions, they appear evil. And so they are like 60 light years away. I don't know which star system that is. But yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, consider liking and subscribing, as I said. Comment on what you thought. Also, if I made mistakes or anything during my analysis, just let me know. And yeah, see you soon, hopefully. Bye.
He looked into my eyes, and I almost threw up from guilt. I'm angry and sad, but I also know that something like this happens every few generations. It happens to remind us that something endures in the mountains, deep within the rocks, that the past is still here, resting beneath the hills, and occasionally it sends its nightmares up to us.
If you enjoyed this little tease, consider checking out my new story, The Waters That Hated. It is available now for free on Vidith22's YouTube channel. Link is pinned in the comments. Thank you for watching and take care.